Hey guys, welcome. Great day for pre-calc. Chilly day though. I should probably put on a jacket. 'Cause we are starting polars today. Okay, polar coordinates, and here we go. It's short lesson, short and sweet, just like me. Okay, first thing after you turned in your vector test, hopefully you picked up one of these. And this is called polar graph paper. Okay. Notice, how could you not, that they are circles instead of rectangular. Okay. So this is where we're heading. And I can tell you while we're here. All right. Obviously, you remember how to sketch an angle. So we will go this way for positive. And this way for a negative angle, that is. And each one of these little rings is 1 unit of R radius. Okay, so that's where we're heading. I guess let's start here. Boom. All right, you should know this already, of course. Rectangular coordinates are X and Y. Polar, as I just mentioned, we're going to have an angle and a radius. So R and theta in that order. Okay. Fix my board up. Then we'll move quick. All right. First thing you got to know how to do is plot them. And then we will talk about polar distance. I think that's really about it for the intro. Okay, so here we go back to your polar graph paper. And I only gave you so many of these on a piece of paper, obviously. So please meter them out. What I'm going to show you right now, we're going to plot, I don't know, 5 dots. I'm going to put them all on one graph. I'm not going to waste a whole graph for one single point. Okay, do the same when you get to the homework, and I can show you that right now. Okay, these first dozen problems or so here are all asking you to graph it, and you'll notice, all right, there's R right in front, and then theta behind it. You'll notice the degree symbol, duh, if it's in degrees. And then what's this? It's radians. Okay, so the angle will come second. Right, and how do we plot these? Well, let me show you a few, and I will try and make sure you've seen some that have positive R's, negative R's. I see those, and some that have degrees, some that have radians, some are positive, some are negative. We got this. So to begin, different color, if it's always going to be blue. Good, red. All right, so let's get started with this. First dot to plot. Now, normally when you did X comma Y plotting back in Algebra 1, day 1, all right, you did X first, usually. This time I'm going to recommend you do theta first, but you could do R. All right, so if I do theta first, I've got to start here at 0, and I got to go positive 120, which is right there. And then it says R of 4. So I'm going to count out 1, 2, 3, 4, put a dot, be a good labeler. That was A. Common error alert. Somebody out there, bless their heart, they don't want to count that first circle. I don't know why, other than all the lines don't connect. But you start at 0, 0, and count out from there. One ring equals 1. So common error, someone's going to put everybody out one too far. Don't let that be you. Okay, so that was nice and easy. How about this? 9 comma -9. Oh, negative. No worries. That's going which way? Down. When you count out 9, I believe these go to 10. So go -90 down here, and then I count down 9 and label it B. So now you've seen a positive angle and negative. Let's go here. Uh-oh, radians. Are you gonna do pi? See my French 7 there? No. You remember how to convert them, right? All right, what did we say pi over 6 was? 6 goes with 3, so that's 30. 30 times 7 is 210. Okay, so if you want to go to 210, just right here, go out 5. Sure, I can do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put your dot and be a good label. Okay, so we've dealt with positive, negative angles, radians and degrees. Really, haven't we dealt with the negative R? Okay. Let's try this. What if I give you -4, 300? Okay, well, positive 300 is right here. And then positive 4 would have pushed itself out here toward 300. So where do you think -4 is going to be? Backwards. And when I get there, oh my, there's already a dot here. We'll talk about what those are called next. All right, but that's how you plot points. Okay. Next section, we get to, we're going to plot lots of dots and connect them to make polar graphs. Exciting. Okay, but for now, we got to crawl before we can walk, before we can run. All right, and this is crawling. Yeah, you got to be able to plot dots in r theta coordinate axis here. Okay. All right. I think they got that. Okay. And what did we say we're going to do next? We were going to talk about these two guys that both ended up in the same place. Why was that? One was 4 positive 120, and the other was -4 300. All right. What did they have in common? Well, they ended up in the same spot. Let's talk about that. I guess let me move over to this open thing here. And let me plot a dot for you. Let's have this. This guy is called 8. Did I go 45 degrees? Yeah. So here's the next thing you got to be able to tell me. What's another name for that dot right there? Well, think back to when we started trigonometry. All right, you had angles that ended up in the same spot. They were called coterminal angles. Coterminal. So really, think about it. Okay. Green is active, but I want to draw this just so you see it. Okay, that line, okay, is 45. But what if I add another full term? It's adding 360 and it's coterminal. So another name for this would be 8, 405. Okay, if I added a full term, what if I went to 45 and I went backwards a full term? What's 45 minus 360? 8, -315. All three of these dots are right there in the first quadrant where that green one is. Okay. And then super advanced, we just had one of these. Okay. How far apart those two. Oops, got the wrong one. Okay, 120 and. See if I can grab it. Help. It knows I'm there. Try it again. All right, how far apart were these two? 120, 300. They were 180 apart. So you could, here's the phrase that pays. All right, for these points, renaming the point, you could add or subtract 360 or add or subtract 180. It's half a turn, but make R negative. Okay, so what would be 45 plus 180 would be over here at 225, and then it would go backwards. Okay, if we make this negative. Okay, and last one. It's another name for 225. If I went negative, it 135. Okay, so get lots of practice renaming points there. Okay, so 2 down, 1 to go, showing you how to plot points and how to rename them. Last thing on our short agenda today, polar distance. Here is your formula. Look familiar? Soak that in while you're copying it. All right, you know who this is? This is law of cosines. Seen that before. Okay, it is. It's law of cosines. So that's going to be our polar distance formula. I'll give that to you, of course. But then you got to be able to do what? Figure this out. All right, if I gave you, let's take those 2 points I had over on the other side. Let's see. What was it? 8, 45 degrees. And I don't think so. And 60. Okay. So obviously they're a little bit apart. All right. So I would plug these in. Really, the order doesn't matter because cosine, if you recall, don't write this down. Remember this identity, putting in a negative angle didn't change it. Okay, so these guys could really be in any order. Since this is addition, these guys could be in any order. Multiplication is also commutative order. Doesn't matter there either, right? So let's plug them in and get our calculator rolling. Get us an answer for how far apart are these two polar points. Okay, plug them in. 8 squared, I got it. 8 squared, got it again. Minus 2 times 10 times 8 times cosine of theta minus theta. It means that the calculator goes as is, I think. Okay, let's wake up the judge. Here it comes. Come on, judge. All right. So big square root coming. What was it? 10 squared plus 8 squared minus 2 times 10 times 8 times cosine. And then we said these could be in either order. Close that up just to tidy it up. And of course, what do I got to make sure of anytime I use calculator trig here? All right, well, if you put in 60 degrees, 45 degrees, then make sure your calculator is also in degrees, okay? Hey, now, enter, and here, Is your distance one decimal place? Let's round that to 3.1. That's how far apart those two guys were. Okay. No. Right. So like I say, next time we'll talk about sketching full graphs and maybe converting from rectangular to polar and vice versa. So welcome to Polars. Have a lovely day.